Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the bastion of knowledge that is Ears to the East, where we have coffee
and Benedict's lovely smiles.
You're German, you better have some beer. All right, so today, as you probably guessed by looking at the thumbnail, we are engaging in one of our little thought experiments again. This is a follow-up to a video we did a few weeks ago now, where we were trying to think of who would we put together to make our perfect all vocal group. And now this is basically the counter. What would be our perfect all instrumental group? So in other words, this is a group where no one is singing. We were originally going to go for 4 members, but we kind of made it a bit more broad, so we can go for 3, 4, 5 members if we want. The funny thing is that due to illness and stuff, Benedikt has been putting off giving his... He came up with his list like weeks ago, like probably over a month ago. He's been waiting to tell us who his lineup would be. Usual thing, I think we kind of all agreed as the last one, only 1 member per group, you know, per original band. Yeah, there's no real rules beyond that. It's just we have to form a group of brilliant instrumentalists, or at least an instrumental group that we think will work really well together. So does Benedikt go first or last, given the drama around his choice?
He can go first, because in typical Neon style, I created mine in about 10 minutes before we recorded this.
So yours is just going to be like a little addendum we put on the end where we go, and here's what Neon
is. Here's Neon. It's like Benedikt's like Art Attack, where there's what Neon did, but here's what I did before.
Well, he's like Art Attack, you're like modern art.
Yeah.
All right, go on, Benedikt.
Okay, I mean, like Howard said, it's quite a while ago, and yeah, really had a great idea and was eager to share it, and then we had stuff going on. Anyway, so actually, let me make a proposal to you guys, because I do make a bold guess here. I think we will all have a drummer and a bassist in our group, right?
Yes, I do.
So we could actually all do our drummer first and then all do our bassist first, if you guys.
I think that could be confusing because we want to get the feel for each band.
Okay, I thought it might be interesting to compare like why we choose each one.
It will make more sense though if we know what the band is, sure.
Kind of, yeah. Okay, but I will start with my drummer. I went for the one and only Akane from BAND-MAID. I think, yeah, you know, I had different ideas. You also have Haruna from LOVEBITES, which I really love. But for the style of music I went for, I needed some more groove, I would say, which I think Akane will really bring. I mean, I love all her, what she's throwing in all over BAND-MAID. I mean, she can also go very heavy, which we heard in, how was it called? Unseen World.
Yes. Yeah.
Like double kicks, like crazy.
When I did mine like 10 minutes ago, Akane was in my list, but I had to replace it with somebody else.
Okay, yeah, I'm eager to hear.
I should also point out as well, credit to Akane, she when she did Mochi Tochis, you know, she was on the cajon. She's very adept at doing like acoustic light music. She can do every range.
She can do it all.
Maybe I can spoil a bit. My group that I went for has like a little Latin flavor in it, which I think Akane is perfect for.
I was about to say, I think I've just spoiled a bit of my group as well in my reaction, but anyway.
Okay, then let's move on to the bassist. You know, a lot of great bassists.
All right, stop sugarcoating it.
I had to go with the one Koga F. No, what's it called? Koga F Chopper. Chopper F Koga. What's her name?
So I went for... Wait, I have no idea who she is.
Yeah. Blanked out on the name. What's the name? Koga F Chopper, right?
Yeah, it's like Chopper F. Yeah, it's those 3 things in some order.
In some order.
Koga. Yeah,
exactly. You know who it is. The slap bass has to be in there. And I think especially Akane and Koga together, they would just those two. It could actually, you could stop there. I could actually would enjoy a 2-piece group if it were those two. I think.
I would absolutely just want to hear a session between them as well. That would be fucking crazy good. Yeah,
I think groovy and funky as hell. You know, yeah, just those two together. But then on top of it, I have two people. I think it would work with either of them as a three-piece group, but I put in both of them because a lot of three-piece groups, we talked about it before, they have more like dual guitar layers, a rhythm guitar and a lead guitar, but it's just one guitarist. So I chose two guitarists and not like another member like Oreo or keyboards or violin, whatever. Just a little hint for what might come.
The suspense is killing me.
And
now you said you've gone for two guitarists, there's a little bit of me which is like, okay, so there's not going to be any big surprises. So go and surprise me.
no, actually not. I was thinking about it a lot, but I just need two guitarists, and I think just these two guitarists combined on top of that groovy, funky ground of these other two, it would be amazing. And I chose, for one, the Golden Touch, Miyako from LOVEBITES.
I definitely got a feel for where your band is going.
Yes. So much feel, so much flavor, but she can also shred like crazy. So yeah, the
And
Golden Touch, I think it's a
big
fitting
credit as
name.
well, because Miyako's a very accomplished pianist.
Yeah, true. Could
That's
do
actually,
that as
yeah.
Shut
well.
up, Howard.
Shit. I'm out.
And the second one, I'm not sure if you guys agree, but to me, they are kind of, in a way, I don't want to say they sound similar, but in a way, their style is a bit similar. I have Haruka from Asterism, because she's also a crazy shredder, but she still does very beautiful, like, feeling and, yeah, that flavor. And I think both of those, if they would do, like, harmonies, freaking amazing. Yeah.
Also,
So,
somebody else that originally was in my list, and I thought, you know what, I'm gonna Ryan Johnson this and subvert expectations, and took her off. I love
yeah,
how
that's
our
my
minds
group.
go to the exact same place. I love this. Me and Benedict are like long lost brothers. I fucking swear.
And one thing I noticed, like, while creating the group, it's not intentionally just females, you know, but they just do the best music, in my opinion.
Not going to argue with that too much. Yeah, I think you've just like hit the nail on the head with that a little bit, and that's just like it's a really good list of musicians. It's pretty clear though that you're going for like a rock sound. So the one thing that always occurred to me the one thing that was occurring to me when I was thinking of this list is, so a lot of the time your ear is going to be drawn to something, even when you're doing instrumental music, something is usually taking the lead. And so I'm kind of thinking, does that mean that your band is primarily going to be delivering songs that are just extensive long guitar solos, or how do you hear it playing out therefore?
Not really. I mean, if to anyone who's interested, I'm kind of imagining them to sound like a group called Nuclear Power Trio, which isn't a Japanese group, but still they sound amazing. And I think their style is kind of described as fusion gent with a bit of Latin. I'm not exactly sure. It's a mix of those things, but it's kind of heavy, you know, has heavy, chuggy parts, but actually a big focus of this group is the bass. They put a lot of focus on bringing the bass out, that you can really hear the bass, and the bass is crazy. And I think Koga would absolutely kill that.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, sure.
Yeah, that is true. It's surprising though. As soon as you picked Haruka and Miyako, I would never have got the sense of the sound that you were going for with that one. I would have been with Howard with like chuggy long guitar solos and stuff.
They would do a bit of different music, but I imagine them to, do that absolutely great. Because I was in preparation for this actually listening to a bit of GACHARIC SPIN, like especially W again, and focusing on Koga. And I mean, Koga, damn.
It is very hard not to pick a certain member of GACHARIC SPIN who plays every single instrument. I mean, they all play multiple instruments, but we all know that their drummer is their guitarist, is their keyboard playing bassist, singer as well. So she's hard to rule out, but yeah, I think in a way sometimes it's better to focus in on someone who can nail one thing. And Koga's a good choice. Good choice. Very good choice. I'm still trying to envisage your band now, because you gave a demo song that you said that you offered me to listen to beforehand. I said I didn't want to spoiler it because I wanted to try and imagine what you wanted to go for. And so now I'm going to be interested to listen to that afterwards. And I think everyone else should go and listen to the music that you recommended too, because it's going to be really interesting to envisage that. But yeah, because it is guitar, bass, drum, I always wonder, there's always this feeling when you got guitar, bass, drum, is it always just going to sound like a contemporary rock group that's missing its singer? But then you've got like such talented musicians there. You have got, Miyako's incredibly talented, and obviously
And that's probably an argument you could make for all instrumental groups if they are missing
we'll
a singer.
see about that, won't we, Neon?
I know.
Back me up, brother, back me up.
I don't know what to do.
The singing lines will be created by the magic of the guitarists. But still, there's a lot of parts that are just driven by the drums and the bass. To me, that's really the main thing about the group, I would say.
Okay. I really hope we brought our A game here, Neon. I think no one's going to argue with the fact that, I mean, whatever on paper they play, if you wrote down that, I mean, like you say, from the first two members, if we're saying, look, Akane is going to play the drums, Cog is going to come out on the bass, it's like, at that point, it's like, it doesn't really matter what you say after that point. I'm buying a ticket. I'm buying a ticket. I will be there. It's like, we don't have to discuss much beyond that point. And so it's interesting because, yeah, the choice to go in the, I don't want to say heavier direction, but obviously focus on a guitar band does make it an interesting one, because I wonder how that would be. But I think most people would agree that just the lineup sounds so interesting.
Yeah.
That you'd want to. You'd want to.
Yeah, that. I mean, I did different ones for mine because I kind of instinctively knew that me and Benedikt would probably pick the same people. So, like, everybody he said was originally in my first lineup, as I wrote it down straight away. But then I looked at it and went, "Oh, Benedikt's totally going to pick those people," and he totally did. And I had to mix it up a little bit. So I'm kind of glad I did.
Interested to see, like, if you will include the ones I think you will include.
Well, let's find out.
Question.
Let's find out, Neil.
I know we agreed on a max 5-piece band, but I do have a 5-piece with a special guest. But if we can make it a 6-piece, if you would allow it.
Again, changing the rules.
Do you know, we extended this
last
one,
time too.
and he wants another extension.
I want another, but it will all make sense.
He's trying to tick off the list so that when he gets to the bottom, he's just like, well, I've got every musician that everyone loves, and they're going to love me forever.
No, well, I'll give you the initial 5-piece, but then as I was looking at it, I was like, it could just do with that little bit extra, and that's what the 6th-piece person is.
Here's the thing: when you get to the end of your 5-piece, you'll tell us a 6th, and then between me and Benedikt, we'll have to decide whether we allow it, and if we don't agree, then it goes to an audience vote.
All right. Okay.
All right.
Or we can add a special feature to ours as well.
I'll go the same way Benedikt did, but I'll do the drummer first. Now I picked the drummer. The first person I put on the list was Akane. Instantly took her off because I had to.
I'm sorry, who? I didn't get that.
Akane.
Yeah.
And then instantly took her off because as I was developing the band and the sound I was going for, there was another person that I needed to go for. I had to take Akane out.
Okay. We're going to find out a lot from this then.
I was going to pick Haruna, but I honestly thought that Benedikt would probably pick Haruna. So I didn't pick Haruna either.
But I thought about her, yes.
So I went for Chica from Hanabiya. And the reason why, although she's relatively new, she's only been in the band since 2023, I believe, maybe a little bit sooner. I'm not too sure. But
we did a video about it at the beginning of the channel.
Yeah, but I've been really... It feels like we've been doing it forever. Time flies, man. But I've been really...
Sorry, it's just taking years.
Yeah, I was like, Jesus Christ, how long have we been doing this? But I've been really, really impressed with the Hanabiya live performances from everybody. Not only for the people that have gone to the gigs, seen them at really, really positive reviews, but the live videos that I've seen from them too. She's been absolutely fucking amazing.
Plus, their songs have a range of tempos and styles as well, so that's actually a really solid pick.
Yeah, so that was another reason why I picked it as well, for that exact reason. Like Hanabiya, they do pretty much everything. slow, fast, and this is the band that I kind of had imagined in my mind was kind of like a slow, almost gothic melodic rock to it, which is kind of the vibe I was trying to do for the band. You'll kind of see it a little bit more as we go on. But for the bassist, reason why I had to get rid of Akane is because I had to have Misa in there. There was absolutely there was no debate in that. That was a
Was
must.
on my list as well.
Yeah.
Of course.
Of course. Misa. Was a must. And I actually put Akane in first, and then as I was kind of like doing the sound, I was like, I need a bassist, and I was like, I can't think of a bassist better than Misa. I know that's going to stir up controversy because I know both of you are going to go, but I don't give a shit. You're both wrong.
I think it really depends on what kind of music you want your sound.
I was about to say,
because I was thinking about Misa as well, but doesn't have
wait,
that.
Hold up. Just before Neon starts telling us he's wrong, don't defend your Misa decision with so much BAND-MAID love, whilst also pushing Akane over the edge of the cliff. Like, I'm such a BAND-MAID fan. Me and Misa, get out of here. It's like let's keep this real here.
Well, to be fair, there was only ever Misa, so
the truth will out.
The truth went out quickly. But yeah, the reason why I picked
so
Misa is because I feel like she complements the other two guitarists that I picked. And the thing that I love about Misa,
knowing there'll be two guitarists, right? Carry on.
Two guitarists. And the reason why I picked Misa is because I feel like Misa is the best I've ever heard at what she does, which is filling in those gaps between the guitarists, but in a verse or a chorus. She is the most beautifully accompanied filling bass guitarist I've ever fucking heard, like ever. Like some of the stuff she does can be not the most technical, but it's perfection. Honestly, God, it's incredible. I don't think BAND-MAID would sound the same if it wasn't per. I think you could put another bassist in there and it would not be as good as it is. I'm kind of gushing over Misa here a little bit, so I'll move swiftly on. So yeah, so
that's what I wanted to say before Neon cut me, before Howard cut me off. She just has her own style, her own flavor to it.
She does. The two guitarists that I went for, which I think complement each other a lot, because I think both guitarists are really, really varied, and they do a little bit of both. I try to go for guitarists that I think can do an awesome job on lead, but also an awesome job on a rhythm as well. Kind of like mix between the two. And I think both of these guitarists are accomplished at either or. Now I'm going to get the one.
Mine.
Pardon? Yeah. So were yours as well.
Picked.
Again, Halkar and all that were in my mind from the full set, but I took them out. The one person that's been in my list every single time and will continue to be on my list today and probably continue to be on my list for the eternity is Takayoshi Omura. I'm sorry, I keep saying this every time. It's impossible to leave that man out of any list that I create.
I knew he was coming.
Yeah, I love him. There is a massive bias between that man, who is the sexiest man alive, by the way. It is impossible to create.
I thought you were gushing over Misa.
I know. Yeah, I like the guy's phenomenal. Like his range in music, from like jazz to metal to just everything. The guy can do it all. A shred, rhythm. I don't think there's anything he can't do. And my second guitarist to accompany him was actually Saki from NEMOPHILA. And she actually just came out and did an instrumental song herself, like just recently, actually, released a instrumental song. And so this was perfect. I was like, oh, the timing. And a solo song, yeah. She did a solo song, just a pure instrumental. I'll link it. I'll link it after. And I thought she was great. I thought she was absolutely amazing. She did an amazing job on that. And I actually said on my reaction that I did that it's very, very hard when you're doing an instrumental to like make a song not boring a little bit. And she did a fantastic job of making that lead just sing like it was somebody singing, which is an incredible skill to do. And I like that. The other member that I had because I always love it. It's one of the first things I look for in any band when I'm listening to them, which is like a neon hit, is either they need a really, really prominent bassist or they need a violinist.
Here we go.
Yeah,
here we go.
Yeah. And my violinist is.
You say it.
Yeah. Go on. Does anybody want to guess who it is?
Jill.
It is Jill indeed. There's only ever one violinist. Again, like a Mora, she's
you chose
impossible. Yeah, it's impossible not to put her in a list for me. I
I was about to
absolutely
say,
do.
do you just want her in the band so that she can talk to you about Fuki? So she can regale you with stories of Fuki. So
No. Honest to God, I love Jill just individually.
That was
Yeah,
my
no,
thought
that's-
process as well. So like, okay, I cannot choose a singer, so no Fuki, then Jill.
No, you make it sound so bad. Like Jill's a second choice. No, I picked Jill because it's Jill.
No,
Stop
no,
getting
good.
Fuki out of your mind, you dirty bastards.
we're just trying to establish all of this because you've got two guitarists and you've got a violinist, and yet you're still going to ask us for a sixth member in a moment. So we just be very clear on what you've got.
My original idea for this 5-piece was to have a prominent violinist kind of taking up that vocal role a little bit, whilst having the two guitarists vibe and Misa jamming and Chica on drums as well. And I thought, oh, it was really, really good trip. I was like, oh, but it's missing something. I want something dramatic and kind of classical kind of mixed in there as well, which is why I thought of a 6-member if I'm allowed to have it. And this is why I told Howard to shut up. Can you guess who the 6th member is?
He says Fuki, I'm going to kill him.
No, it's not Fuki. Although it could have been Fuki, but I do rate this lady a little bit higher.
It's not Yuko Suzuhana, is it?
No.
I feel like I should know this, and yeah, it's not going to be Sue.
I told you to shut up as soon as you went into it. It is Miyako on piano. That goes
hold up,
no, I'm not letting that through. You have two guitarists. You can
exactly, and I need a pianist. Miyako.
No, you can't have 3 guitarists just because one of them plays piano.
Hey, man. Well, she started off as a pianist, so technically she was a pianist before she was a guitarist. So,
but she can do both, which means get rid of one of your guitarists. Get rid of one of your guitarists. Benedikt, are you going to allow this?
I would also say you wouldn't even need a piano in there. So I would say go with one less and have Jill as your special member.
So we want you to choose. We want you to choose, Neon. We're asking.
Then I'll keep the original 5. I love violence.
Really?
With the piano,
Right.
I do like a piano.
I think that's a good choice.
When I think of the like piano, I think of it like a great opening or a great interlude or coming in during a chorus or an outro and stuff like that. I when I think of piano, I think of like something really dramatic that's going to be good on stage. And has that classical vibe, which is why I picked Miyako. I could have picked
To me,
anyone
that
else.
kind of Jill kind of fills that role already.
She does. But yeah, maybe I'm just being greedy and I want it all. I want it all.
But so,
So-
what kind of music would they
Yeah.
do?
Well, like you said, I was thinking like a really kind of like classical gothic kind of vibe to it. I really feel like Chica's got the beats to be able to cover something like that, to slow it down, to pick it up. Amora
darker.
and pardon?
Darker.
Darker?
Darker.
Yeah.
Darker.
Yeah. Kind of like that, but in the vibe of maybe like an Unlucky Morpheus, which is why Jill is so prominent. Why I had to keep Jill and not Miyako. That's kind of how I see that. Like, kind of really, kind of like rip roaring solos, really, really good chuggy rhythm and guitar as well. And I think Misa can go a little bit ham on this one. I feel like she's got the creativity to create. What I love, especially about Misa, well, pretty much this can be relevant for all Japanese artists, but they have this really lovely ability to create awesome bass lines over a lead and a rhythm guitar, which is one of the reasons why I know Howard loves that as well. It's so weird listening to Western music where like the bass is exactly the same as the guitar now, and I'm like, boo.
Every layer has to move independently.
Yeah,
They can match as a choice rather than as a default.
Yeah, exactly. And I think Misa's got that in her locker. So that's kind of where I was thinking with that. And yeah, that's why I wanted the extra member for the piano, just because I wanted that neo-classical feel to it.
But now you said
Neon classical.
that, I think in that context,
not
I think
classic, I'm
you would
vintage.
kind of work here.
Oh God, now you just turned into a hipster.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, I think to be honest, I think it kind of I think your choice of having a focal point, of putting Jill as the focal point, is a really interesting one because like so I totally get like Benedikt's group, and I think Benedikt's group is like very concise as well, and I get why it would work. But I think structurally the idea of having Jill there to me makes sense because I can kind of imagine like having the two guitarists filling out like dueling roles whilst Jill takes the lead. But then if one of the guitarists wanted to do a solo, Jill could move into a much more calm place underneath and add a sort of attention. So yeah, I can see how that would work more structurally. I feel like in a way I'm more excited about Benedikt's lineup because the member lineup, I'm like really excited. I'd like to see those four people work together. But structurally, I feel like your one perhaps to me feels like I can understand what your
Going
band will
for.
sound like a bit more easier. But then again,
I mean, I had to
just
take
my-
out like 4 members because I knew Benedikt would pick the original 4. So
Yeah, in all fairness,
Don't have to do that. You can choose the same people.
And so,
no, I gotta keep it entertaining. You gotta keep it being entertaining.
yeah, one day we just all pick the same
people.
So that's my group. That's my group as well. Well, goodbye, everybody. We have a conclusive, scientifically proven answer.
That's probably a good group.
Would be. That would be. Double, triple blind test.
Yeah,
I really like Psyche that you picked Psyche here from Nemophila. Psyche is her name, right?
Saki, I
Because,
think.
yeah, to me,
I was about to say, you picked
Nemophila really-
Psyche? What to say? Just because she played piano once at the 10th anniversary show?
No, but recently I really got into the more calmer songs by Nemophila, and I think they do it really well. And a big part of that is exactly, I think, why Neon wants her in the group, that she just makes that guitar sing so epic. And
Yeah.
can really imagine that in like that slower, more gothic style. I think that I would love to hear.
The fact they're a borderline supergroup isn't overly surprising when you look at the talent. I always forget, like, whether Tamu's the name of the singer or the drummer. I always get confused. But the drummer is unbelievably talented from Nemophila. The singer, she's got a wonderful voice, even though I'm not a big fan of the scream stuff. She sings beautifully. The guitarist, like you say, great. I mean, they're such a talented band. I don't always feel like their songs necessarily make the most of it, but yeah, you can't deny the talent on offer in that band. So yeah, I can imagine she would do a rip-roaring solo. By the way, should I?
Yeah, go for it, man.
Go ahead.
Because I get the feeling we're going to see the 10-minute clock come up on our free
Yeah,
version very soon. All right, so let's start with the drummer because there can only be one. Go on, guesses. We already know. Like who did I pick the drummer? Yeah, Akane, of course, picked Akane. Because Akane, as I said,
this is exactly why I picked differently. Because I fucking.
Why did you choose the Howard? Why can't you be more like Neon?
Fucking wait for the rest of the band. Right. So Akane, because like I said, I'm going to gush again. She can do everything from cajon and acoustic band. She can do ballads all the way to heavy metal. BAND-MAID has showcased that already. She didn't need to do anything more than just deliver their songs, and it's already proven. Plus, she gets the most. She understands the song, and she doesn't just play a beat. She interprets what's going on around her. I just think she's quintessentially the drummer you want. And that is the point where all similarities and semblance of common sense end, because here we go with the next four members. All right.
Oh, shit.
Next up.
Here we go again.
Oh, shit. So for bassist, so yeah, I do have a bassist. I went in a slightly different direction now. Obviously, I thought about Misa, but I had to have Akane, so I thought about like there was a lot of bassists, and I realized a lot of my favorite bassists, what they're good at doing is they're very good at either singing and playing bass. I did honestly think about Koga from GACHARIC SPIN. The reason I didn't pick her was because, to be honest, I feel the slap thing's actually a bit too much for me a lot of the time. I feel like there's too much slap, and it's like that's actually one of the things that I most have a trouble with. Yeah, Davey 504, come get me. I feel like that's one of the things I have most of a problem with GACHARIC SPIN is I think there's too much slap where sometimes it's not needed. So yeah, I didn't go for her. Neon's having a fucking trauma moment.
I'm not sure what's going on.
I went a bit out of left field. I wanted someone who was incredibly talented, underrated, and has proven himself in a wide range of genres. 10-minute warning came up. So I went for Ainyan from Silent Siren. She can do rock. She can do Fujiyama disco proofs. She can slap as well as anyone. She can do walking bass lines. She can do ballads. She can do rock. She is like very complete package. Plus, good friend of Akane. I've already got a rhythm section who are going to get on well and have drinks together. Hopefully not turn up drunk for practice. All right. Now we get into more of the madness. I think the third member you can probably guess, because this is the other reason why I couldn't pick Koga. Because I did need me one GACHARIC SPIN member.
And I would say it's Oreo.
Yeah, simple as that. Yeah, Oreo. I needed a keyboard player who has
This would have been my secret or my additional.
I tell you what, I love
feature.
you guys. I love how we're all so fucking predictable.
Don't worry. I think I've still got some tricks left up my sleeve. So the thing about Oreo,
hopefully with more slap. Can't believe you said that.
Well, the thing about Oreo is that she's multi-talented as well. So she's kind of one of those ones you can keep in there who obviously keyboard can be any sound. You can put any sound through it. So it's a really good instrument. You can use it to do heavier sounds, go a bit darker with it. It's like the instrument that, in my opinion, you've got to have if you're going to do instrumental, because it can be anything. Plus, the fact you can play with two hands over so many, you can play over so many different keys, and you can use your feet at the same time. You can hit so much with it. It's like a really great thing to have in an instrumental group. So yeah, for me, that had to be in there. And she's the one to go to because she can do that. Plus she can play guitar. She's multi-talented. So if we need a guitarist to come in and like thicken things up, she can go do that as well. I mean, she just covers so many bases that she is like she's my joker card to throw into the middle of the group. All right, now on
I've
to
never seen her play the guitar before. It's not her main instrument, right?
It's not her main instrument, but she can play it. And don't worry, I'm not going to be expecting her to do anything complicated on guitar, as you'll find out.
Okay.
And next up is Benny from Wagaki Band.
Which one is that?
Shamisen. I needed a good sharp sound that could be used for both melody and slip into the background. So in the same way that like Oreo's like a catch-all for doing so many different things, like Benny is there to give like a more specific sound, more specific flavor. And the shamisen's like that, it's got that nice sharp feel. It's the one instrument of all the ones I've picked that really will always sit in a sort of sharp place. It can be color or it can be lead. Plus she's a bit of a virtuoso player. She can really sort of ramp up the quality with some amazing virtuoso playing. So if I wanted to throw in some solos, I can have a Benny shamisen solo or a piano solo. It's great. And then my fifth member to round it all up and to round it all off is not Jill, because I knew that Neon would pick Jill.
Is it Fuki?
What is that? Look, okay, I wanted a violinist, and I thought he's either going to pick Jill or he's going to pick the lass from East of Eden. So I went for my personal favorite, who I've mentioned a lot of times, which is Rena from Alia. Because of the fact that Alia are a group with like a very wide range of sounds already. They cover quite a lot. Yeah, they're mostly in a pop rock territory, but they're very varied. You know, they do ballads and all kinds of things. So she knows how to fit into large arrangements. Plus, she's incredibly talented at being either lead or back. So basically what I got here, I got a solid rhythm section who can play a range of styles. I have a catch-all keyboard player who can play any sound virtually that I need in the middle. I've got someone to do the thick, long, lush sounds in violin from Rena. I have Benny to do that sharp virtuoso shamisen. And I have no guitarists because I figured, do you know what? If we're going to go instrumental, let's go for sounds which are like not stuff that we hear every day. Put them together, put them in an arrangement where they all complement each other, where there's layers, it will work. And that's what I went for. And,
I find it very interesting that both me and you went for a violinist over a keyboardist or any other percussion kind of instrument.
I have a keyboardist.
Oh shit! Did you say? I'm sorry, I zoned out for that. Sorry.
I was like, wait, who's he talking about? So, bro, the fuck you? I just spent like 5 minutes talking about Oreo, and he's like, yeah, you ain't got a keyboardist.
Jesus Christ! Yeah, sorry.
I
zoned out for that. Fuck me.
But I feel your group would be like able to do a lot of different kinds of music. Which style would you like go for?
No, but that's the thing is that instrumental groups, because the fact there is no voice, and yeah, music doesn't have to be vocal,
Yeah,
but I
but
always
like,
think
do you imagine the sound to be more of a traditional, more in the vein of Wagaki band, or would you go more of a jazzy, bluesy
Oh,
stuff?
okay.
I don't know.
I would expect it to be some kind of a fusion where it could literally be anything. That's one of the reasons why I'm doing that. I wouldn't want them to focus on too much. I mean, I was actually originally going to go for the koto player from Wagaki Band, but the problem is, no, I'm not just going against him because he's a guy, just in case someone else. But the thing is, the koto, I love the sound, but it's so powerful that it's very hard to fit into an arrangement without it constantly being noticeable. And it's like you need some sounds that can be at the back or at the front. If there's a koto in, it's always there. It's always grabbing your attention.
Yeah, kind of.
I love it, but I couldn't sit it in the background particularly well. So for me, it was like it had to be musicians who could go front or back. So you know they could go jazzy, and each one of them could do a solo. Or it could probably do like 5. You know, they could do that. They could do songs where they all sort of morphed into a pop sound and someone played lead. They could do ballads. They could do rock, but it would obviously be less guitar focused rock, but they could still like distort that bass, you know, get a real thumping song to style distorted bass in there, get some heavy like Jamiroquai style distorted keyboards, and you could get like a proper rock song out of them without a guitar. Or I could pick up guitar. I just feel like for me, it would be like a band who could do anything, and I'd just be gushing to hear what they did. We got 3.5 minutes, so I'm gonna let you guys.
Yeah, no, I like that you two
Tear it
picked
apart.
like a more kind of like out there concept for your bands. Like I went the more kind of like traditional route, and you two kind of.
I felt I did too.
Yeah, I like what you two came up with. I'd be interested to listen to both.
Did you zone out during Benedikt's one as well?
I don't, mate. I don't know where that came from. Like, I was like, I completely didn't hear that, and then fucking when you said that, I was like, "Did you say you want to go?" I was like, completely.
Why golf? Why golf?
Why
That's
golf?
the answer.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking of. Why golf? I was sat there in contemplation. I was like, why golf?
The camera zoom in on your face and just like people playing golf, and you going, why?
You should totally edit that so it does that, by the way. So as you're talking about it, you should just have like some golf balls floating about my head or something like that.
I'm going to try to remember to do that.
Yeah, why golf? Why golf just pops up on the screen and everybody's like, what the fuck? They'll know why later.
Oh dear, but yeah, no, so I'd figure about that now. But I just thought that this band would be like super fun, and yeah, I know it's a little bit try hard, it's a bit edgelord saying I'm not going to have a guitarist, but I just thought, you know, a lot of the guitar music I like is because I love the way the guitar interacts with the vocalist. And I was like, if we're going to go instrument, again, guitar's a lot like koto. It's one of those instruments, it's hard to hide it. Yeah, you can put background guitar, but it's like always people are waiting for it to step to the front. So if you're not going to put it at the front, might as well just leave it out and do something different altogether. And so that's what I thought I'd do. But yeah, I would be totally excited to hear all of these bands for very different reasons. Like I say, I think that structurally, like Neon's one is like ready to go, hit the ground immediately. I know what I expect from it, and I kind of like want to hear it, and it's going to be beautifully played. With like Benedikt's one, it's just that the lineup is so freaking cool. And you know, being a 4-piece, they're gonna have a lot of room to breathe. And with my one, it's just the wet dream of someone who's big into arrangements. So I've got a minute and 20.
Difficulty imagining Howard's group because they kind of can do everything. So
imagine whatever you want and they'll do it. There you go.
yeah, that's kind of a cop out.
Is it a cop out or is it a massive win? You at home decide.
Yeah, let us know in the comments whose lineup would you most like to hear or most like to be interested in. And as always, we'd like to know your own lineups for this as well. All you need to do is stick by the rules, 1 person per band in the group. And yeah, have fun with it. I'm looking forward to seeing.
You do it like Neon and just change the rules.
Yeah, just get everybody in. Why the fuck not? Mine's gonna be like a full-on orchestra if I had my way.
Why golf? Why rules?
Why golf? Why rules?
We got 15 seconds, everyone. So I'm going to tell you at home to remember to keep your ears to the east. Try and point at Neon with the point at Neon. Press the button.
I'm trying to do Dragon Ball thing with Benedikt.
Oh. Fusion.
I'm out.
Why golf?
instrumental groups, because the fact there is no voice, and yeah, music doesn't have to be vocal,
Yeah,
but I
but
always
like, do you
think
imagine the sound to be more of a traditional, more in the vein of Wagaki band, or would you go more of a jazzy, bluesy
Okay.
stuff? I don't know.
I would expect it to be some kind of a fusion where it could literally be anything. That's one of the reasons why I'm doing it. I wouldn't want them to focus on too much. I mean, I was actually originally going to go for the koto player from Wagaki band, but the problem is